Prasanna, great to connect, and then good afternoon. Uh, Tell me,
Afternoon.
what's the biggest challenge on your plate for the next quarter?
Uh, right now, though, it's the growth that we want to achieve. That is the top thing on my mind. Because we have been working hard in terms of putting strategies and doing the ground effort and all of that. So now
Okay.
we need to achieve the good numbers and all of that. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay. Tell me a bit more. How large is the team currently?
I mean, this is I think 100 plus team we have here right now, but we have a group companies where we have another 200 guys, around.
Okay.
So I think we have a capability of 300 plus resources working all
Okay.
the way from IT to technology and all of that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
So when you say group company, is this a part of a larger setup here?
yeah. The founders are the same. We have
Okay.
different entities. So I'm heading the IT entity of it, which is AXIOM'IO. So
Okay.
basically, we focus on the infrastructure security and those aspects,
Hmm.
whereas the other companies are working on the product engineering and those kind of projects,
Okay.
which I'm
Okay.
not part of it, but it's the same guys. I mean, if we need some support, we generally collaborate internally.
Right. But otherwise, this is your baby, and you run the show here
As
in
far as
this.
Axiom IO, yes, I take
Okay.
all the decision.
Sure.
I strategy as well as operations execution and everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lovely. And then, in terms of revenue, where might you be these days?
We are at 2 million plus right
Oh,
now, maybe. Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gives me a good overall picture. Thanks for sharing that. My first question, Prasanna, is let's say this year 2028 now, right? 3 years from now. And let's say that you have called me and you tell me
Mm.
that, Vasuki, I've had the best 3 years of my life so far, both
Mm.
personally and professionally. Yeah. Now, if that were to be true, what would have happened in the next 3 years that would make you say, I've had the best 3 years so far?
So it's more fulfilling, that would give us the happiness that we want. So when I say
Okay.
fulfilling in terms of professional fulfillment, I think we are talking about a $10 million for the company where I am
Got
heading
it.
it.
Yeah.
So if it is about my personal thing, then it's more about I have my own athleisure brand, which I wanted to scale, globally. So we are
Mm.
trying to put some strategies together. I would want to get a strong investor for my business plan. I want to get this business plan done. I would want to have the investor on board, and I would want to see myself happy, working busily on that.
Lovely. And then is this, when you say athleisure, it's a clothing
Yeah, it's a
line?
clothing. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
clothing brand. It's my personal clothing
Yeah.
initiative.
You
Yeah.
manufacture it, everything as in it's
My
done
family, it
by,
was my family business, and we used to
okay.
manufacture. So we had our own brand, and we are South India's number one brand, to start with in terms of who have started this initiative. But now we are moving more into we are outsourcing a lot of manufacturing activity. Now we are moving more towards taking the brand global, something like that. So we are
Interesting.
still
Interesting.
stuck with our two states where we started. But now I'm not looking at a pan India, but I'm looking at more of a global exposure. So I just want to take a big leap, from here kind of. But I'll take time to ground the plan, but we'll take a big leap. But I want to have that business plan investor ready. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know
And
I can
then
do this.
how much of your time is spent on that business right now?
Now, right now I'm at my drawing board, doing the business plan for it.
Got
So
it.
I've been taking into considerations, what it takes to take it global and all that. So I don't want to think small anymore for that brand.
Mm.
So I do it big or I don't do it.
Lovely. And then as in you've been doing that for, when you say family business, is that something that you've been doing prior to this fully?
My experience transcends, 10 years in my IT, been working with Wipro and Ericsson, and all
Mm.
of that after my college days. And then I joined my this business because this family business is almost 30 years old, but then I joined them in 2010 or something like that. So I
Mm.
worked there for 10 years. So I was not content in terms of the finances, and because the effort is world class, the product is world class, and I think it has a global appeal. But the way the finances are structured, the way the family processes are structured, that was not
Yeah.
something gelling with me. So then I said I'll take a step back. I think whatever you guys are doing great, and I also know I'm just experimenting. Like right now, I've opened 20 EBOs in Hyderabad and
Mm.
Telangana, my own brand, and they are doing great. So now I'm experimenting with e-com. So I'm test trying all these things. How the product as a individually, how it can stand, not amongst other products. So I think they are proving to be okay now. So now I'm very strongly trying to put this business plan together, try to see what I can do.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. Um, so now we spoke of the short-term goal, right? 3 years, you want to take this current company to 10 million and your personal brand that you investor ready, right? Now, all entrepreneurs, right? We all have massive dreams, scary dreams when we start, and then these dreams evolve over a period of time, right? Currently, what's the dream for Prasanna? I'm talking 5 years, 10 years down the line, right? What is that big aspiration? What is that big goal that you are working towards?
In the IT space, basically, I want to take this Axiom global. So, because so far they have been a white labeling company, working for a lot of other companies, supplying resources and all that. Now I said, let's do our own solutions, let people know what is Axiom really, what is that they are up to and what is that they can solve for the industry and all that. So that way, if I look at a long term now, I would want to see Axiom being talked in parlance with companies like Wipro and TCS, in very niche and, but we are also a small time system integrator right now, but
Mm,
we want to play a bigger role there, and especially the mid-market segment. So we want to solve the mid-market segment problem because I see the next 500 companies, top Fortune 500 companies coming from there, and they are deprived of the technology support, or maybe they are not putting technology in the right place. I mean, rest of the things we can't do anything about their domain or anything, but I'm sure we can be a good partner with them, to grow them technologically, whatever has to be done, and whatever has to be spent, a good ROI and a good,
mm,
headway into the future, we want to make them ready. So that way, we want to be a very trusted and a strong player for mid-market, and people should trust Axiom, for transforming them digitally and, make them a good business. So if we can do that, then that is something
mm.
which I really, love to do. I mean, whether it is Axiom or somebody, but I want to build some company like that.
Okay, okay. Sure. As in, I think that holds good. The sentiment holds good for your own brand that you're talking about, also, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
okay.
that is now I see both sides of the game, because technology is still a tool. Technology in itself is not a company. We are still, however big it is, we are still serving enterprises.
Mm, mm,
So that means enterprise comes first, technology comes second. So that way, I
yeah.
want to build my own enterprise. That at the same time, I want to make sure that technology should play a role in every enterprise very strongly. And therefore, since I know both, so
Mm,
I can combination, and I should also prove myself, right? I'm not just telling to the customers use technology to grow. I should also personally, use it to grow. So
right.
that is
Right.
my take on my own brand as well. So I'm experimenting with that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Now, coming back to the short-term goal, and you can answer this with both, Axiom and your brand that you have in mind, right? Both. The short-term goal that we spoke of for the next 3 years, what internal obstacle do you foresee that could actually derail this growth plan that you have for yourself there, if not addressed?
No, I don't see any derail thing, because I've gone through that ups and downs in my own brand. And since I know IT for long, so I've seen
Mm,
the depths and, highs of it. So now I'm very practically grounded. So nothing to derail, but it's a matter of speed now. So how
mm,
fast I can execute this, that is the question now. So for sure, we can achieve these things, but I want to do it faster. And slow is something is killing, because
mm.
time is money, and it's a cost.
Sure. And then what internally, right? As in, I don't talk externally because it's not in our control. But internally, when I say internally within yourself, within the organization, what could not let you go fast as you want in the next 3 years that you have in mind?
I said I feel it's the investor confidence, that is the only thing,
Mm-hmm.
because there are people, and we have the intent, we have the passion to do it, and I mean we can always build things. But I think investor confidence, to keep their confidence and keep them in loop and keep them, that is something which is tricky, because they think everything in finance terms, and whereas we need time and effort sometimes. So say that is the only thing that can derail. So I want to have a very strong investor commitment also into this journey. So otherwise, I think we are pretty much there. But definitely we need some reliable partners to scale fast. As I said, since scaling is the key now, the speed is the key now. So
Yeah.
therefore, not getting such good guys, in the short term might
Mm-hmm.
derail, not derail, but basically to slow down the
Slow it,
things.
slow
And
it
then
down.
again, we are going back to the investor saying that, boss, we need some more time. You put in some more money. So that is a little uncomfortable. But yeah, that is
Mm-hmm.
part of the. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's talk some strengths. So what would you say are your as a leader, right? What would you say are your in terms of personal attributes, your top three strengths? Not on the
So
technical side of it, but more on the personal attribute side of it.
trust me, I'm very bad with technical. So that's a weakness I'll put it in. Because
Okay.
I've been managerial most of my things, I
Sure.
understand management side of it far better,
Mm,
than technical. I've never gone depth into the technical areas. Even in Wipro, after my first year of work, immediately I was put in the management positions, looking at my skills in terms of handling people. So one of my
mm,
strengths, I would say, is that handling people, because I have an empathy for them. I know their aspirations, and I try to match their aspirations and my own empathy, to grow things, because I believe we are living humans, and we are doing everything for humans progress. And I mean, there's nothing outside human progress, any business can think of. So money
right.
are all the second aspects, but I think we should grow together and thrive together and be happy together. That's all I believe. So that's my
Okay.
biggest strength. So that's for team around me feels, I can give them that. And
Sure.
since
Yeah.
for the same reasons, I'm also awarded best people manager in Wipro in 2010 by Premji,
Mm,
because of those things. So those, basically, that is my strength with the people, and with
okay.
the businesses and all that. See, I try to be truthful to whatever I do, whether it is external customer, internal customer, partners, everything. So being transparent and flexible, as I said, the very idea about accommodating people is also accommodating the enterprise partners, customers. So
Mm-hmm.
again, it falls back to the same trait. So that truthfulness and transparency is another strength that I have.
Sure.
And then I
Yeah. Yeah.
always believe in a team progress, not individual, what do you call, individual glory. I don't believe in individual glory. So I
Mm-hmm.
think
So think about this, right? Which of these strengths could actually become a limitation for you going further if not balanced well with other qualities?
yeah, again, it's we come back to people only. So we put
Mm,
in trust, we put in faith in them sometimes, and sometimes they become a limitation. They try to take undue advantage of those things. So if they
yeah.
if
Yeah.
they if they tell me something false, then I also believe that. So sometimes it affects things. But yeah, I mean, again, I take it as a part and parcel of day-to-day things. So I try to tell them not to be like this, because that's not
Mm.
what we endeavor for. So, but let's see.
How do you navigate this, right? As in, it's a double-edged sword, like you said. Um, what's
So
your way
far,
of
it has not been
handling
any
this?
limitation for me, because I know I've
Okay.
met these kind of people. But I think
Mm,
it's like, if you put odds against it, it's maybe 10% or 20% such people, but it's the strength is having 80% of people on
got
our
it.
side. So I didn't feel it as a
Got it.
big limitation, but I think they can derail some effort, and some
Sure.
delays might happen, but nevertheless, they cannot derail completely. Yeah.
Now, people are at the core of your strengths. People are at the core of the business. We have spoken about people a lot, right? Now, and like you said, you as people management is one of your stronger suits. But I'm sure there are challenges. Currently, what kind of challenges are there on the people front and the team front for you?
I think the aspiration again, see, because when we are working as a team, everybody has
Mm.
to have the similar aspiration for the organization, similar passion for what we are dreaming for. But
Correct.
if somebody is getting stuck with contentment in terms of their life, so I mean, there
Mm.
is no room for them here. And I mean, they can be content, they can stay, they back home and all that. But people like come to offices and then they say, I'm content, that's not possible. Your contentment and the organization contentment should align.
Mm.
Otherwise, you
Mm.
have to find some other organization which is content with the way you are content with your life. So I think that mismatch is a
Mm.
limitation because we get a lot of people. I mean, they think very low, small, they can't think global, even though we
Yeah.
tell them they don't believe it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I have challenges around that. So I try to use personal trainings, to show them because I tell them that I go to New York, I go to London, I go to Dubai, I see people, I talk to a lot of people, and we are no different. And whatever we are doing has a global impact. Whatever you do at your desk has a global impact. You need to believe that. You cannot say my
Mm-hmm.
work doesn't matter to this world. It's not that. So I try to
Mm-hmm.
give them those insights. But again, people are people.
That's
You
a
cannot
challenging
beat
area. Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Sure.
Yeah. And then organizations also, I see there's a trust problem these days. No organization trusts no other organizations. It has become a zero trust at the
Mm.
organization level. So it's very difficult to open a conversations. It's very difficult to tell them you can trust my word because there are so many other people who have gone before us and broke those trust. So now the time to build those trust has become intense. Earlier,
Mm.
I think 20, 30 years back, if you see, people used to trust very fast. But if you see today, it takes 2 years to build a relationship,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
not.
And then this is with reference to your partners and clients that you're talking to, right? As in,
Yeah,
with
exactly.
reference to that, mostly.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
exactly. And I think we are to be blamed for that. So many people
Mm.
have broken trust, and now we are going to cement it for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, here's a question that you yourself might have asked when you're hiring people, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you have all the money that you need today, right?
Yeah.
What does your ideal day look like? What would you be doing if you have all the money that you required, you wanted, you already have today? What does tomorrow look like? What?
Yeah, I would again put it on the people for innovation, to make people life better and societies should progress. I think money for me is a tool to generate wealth and buy freedom for people. And therefore, I will put it to people to innovate more and try to be happy. So happy index has to go up for me at
Okay.
society at large. So I will put all money whoever does it and behind them. That's all I will do. I'll not buy
Why
a
why
car
is
and I'll not buy a Bugatti.
why
Definitely.
is that important for you? Putting money on the people.
Because
What does that
personally,
do?
I've seen that we are happy when society around us is happy. So
Mm.
I mean, however rich we are, when we see somebody, struggling for life, so I think happiness is part of when we are in the happy world, then we are happy. That's what I have. That's what it is for me.
Okay.
And it's only
Okay.
people who have to do it. Nobody's going to come and do it for us. So therefore, I'll put money for people who are doing it.
Sure. Yeah. In in the same regard, right? How are you right now? Are you in a happy state, personally yourself? Uh, yeah, in the same
I'm
definition.
happy only because whatever, see, earlier, I think 3, 4 years back when we were like struggling with our own finances in my own company and all of that. So I said, why are we even no unhappy about it? We have done something, so something went wrong, so finances got lost. So it's fine.
Mm.
So we got some other guy who's putting in money. Let's do it the best of it. So I came to realize that so money is not the key for happiness or failure, but it's our mind. So then now I said to myself that fine, whatever has happened, happened. Now let me work back and put the drawing board and so I'm happy doing the job now. So I'm not concerned about the problems or mistakes that have happened, but I'm happy in terms of doing what I'm doing because I know the cause is better the achievements are going to be more fruitful for everybody. So therefore, so happiness in terms of working, yes, but happiness in terms of people around me, not completely, because I'm still not having that kind of team that I wanted. But yeah, I mean, but at least 70% or
Mm.
60% maybe. I need some more guys to be with me. So which I'm scouting for.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so now let's say it's a magic wand, right? And I give this to you right now. It can solve two of the biggest challenges that you're facing personally as a leader, right? What would you use the magic wand on?
I would erase money first. So I think money is the cause of all problems. So people are stuck with money mindsets. So
Mm,
if I
mm.
say, money should not be the medium of doing things, so I don't know what else should be. But yeah, I mean, definitely money led societies is what I would want to vanish.
Okay, okay, very interesting. Yeah, yeah. And the second usage of the wand, and then would you want to use it for anything else?
So I would want to use it for good now. So I would want to say people, have empathy for people around you, and try to be progressive in terms of society, not progress in terms of you and your family alone. So
Mm,
do not store riches for your future. Spread it. Let everybody be rich in terms of
okay,
happiness.
okay. Yeah. We spoke of strengths earlier, right? Now, are there areas that you have identified for yourself where you feel you still need to grow a lot more and you still need to improve, especially keeping in mind, where you're headed, not just the next 3 years hitting 10 million, getting an investor for your company, but the dream we spoke of, right? Making this equivalent to a Wipro. That's where you need to go. Where do you think you need to improve to get there?
I'm a nerd sometimes, because I keep talking these things too much, sometimes I feel like people are not so serious about these matters.
Hmm.
And then I'm also like a little introvert kind of guy. So I do not speak to so many people socially, but I'm
Hmm.
good with people around me in work, family, and all that. But outside that, I interacting with new guys, I'm not so strong, because I don't know how to strike a new conversation immediately. I need to have a context to start. I
Hmm.
cannot just start without a context. So those some weaknesses sometimes, keep me low or behind the bars, so always, some ice has to be broken before I open up, kind of. So I think that's
This
pretty much the things.
how would this help? As in, what would as in, let's say you were able to do this, right? What how would that help you? What would that do for you?
So we can spread the ideas faster. We can spread whatever I'm thinking faster, and
Got
therefore
it.
I
Yeah.
can get aligned with people faster, and I can network with people faster. So
Okay.
which sometimes I'm slow at that.
Sure. Yeah. 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 Um, Currently at the stage where you are right now, yeah. What does success mean to you right now? I think you've touched upon this already, but I want to kind of talk a bit more on that.
Yeah, success, as I said, success for everyone. I mean, not individual success. When I say
Mm,
Axiom grows to a maybe a 1,000 member team, and all are thriving, and everybody has share in the company and all of that. So I
mm,
think that kind of success is success to me. Success in terms of society is like everybody progresses. We are able to make the societies clean, happy. Those are success to me. Yeah.
yeah. You're leading a team of 100 plus right now. You've seen a lot. What kind of fears are there for you right now?
My fear is that it's becoming too difficult to win the trust, and it's taking too much time. It was not necessary. I think people are not willing to listen, and people, and we need to chase to tell them that we can work and all that. Sometimes
Mm,
I break these barriers, by talking at forums, and by talking at I think, and when I talk at forums and whoever listens to my webinars, they connect faster. So I think we need to have a global forum, to talk more of this. See, the very reason I want to talk to you guys is for the same reason. So I think
mm.
whatever we are saying, should people should know what are we standing for. And
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
one-on-one is becoming too difficult.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. just couple more questions before we wrap up for today.
Mm.
If at all there is something, what's missing in your life right now?
Money again, because
Okay.
I needed it more and more to realize these visions that I shared with you in terms
Mm.
of proliferating our effort and doing good to the societies and all that. We need a lot of money. So I'm wasting sometimes I feel I'm wasting time to convince these investors. So that is something missing. But I think it's part of the game. So I'm trying to talk to more investors these days, and trying to
Mm.
tell them what are we standing up to and what are we heading, and if they are aligning, nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Lovely. Prasanna, thank you so much. Thank you for an open and honest conversation.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
really appreciate that. Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
before we wrap up, I just want to check on a couple of things. First off, I want to acknowledge. I think it's very inspiring the way you view things, your vision, your dream. Right there, this doing good is a common theme there. I acknowledge that, and it's really inspiring. Uh,
yeah,
we also spoke of few challenges, right? One is inspiring people, the team, getting them to be more hungry, right? Getting them aligned with your hunger, right? Your aspiration or the company's aspiration. Second was winning trust was the theme there, right? Now, both of these put together, currently, there might be a way for me to help. Hence, I'm asking, um, if I were to give you a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, what's the importance of this challenge for you currently? What would you rate it? In nature of immediateness and how big a challenge it is.
oh, it's on you can say 9 year. I think winning trust is the biggest challenge right now.
Sure.
So I think
Okay.
that is what day in day out I try to talk to people, talk to clients, to win that and try to be transparent with them. You will not believe last month I was in New York sitting with one of the biggest system integrator, and we were talking. So I mean, until that time it was very difficult to get his appointment. Now anytime I can knock his door and get into his room. So that kind of, once we meet people and talk to them and share our views, our vision with them, I think things will open. But reaching out to them and opening that first door is becoming too difficult, and is becoming more rigid in this world right now.
Sure. The reason I asked was, I think you should have a conversation with Sumit. And I think this could be a very, very powerful conversation for you because what Sumit does is supports leaders like you, in terms of, reaching the 10 million in the next 3 years, in terms of this trust and also insights on how to get people to be more hungry, right? I think in that regard, I think this could be a very, very powerful conversation for you. And then what I'm suggesting is a, no strings attached conversation just to see if he can be of help or not, right? Not looking to get
Sure.
you as a client or anything. But even this one conversation with him could be actually super powerful for you. And in fact, I think this conversation could be one of the important conversations you would have had this year, right? Uh, would you be open for that?
Yeah, why not? As I
Yeah.
said, anyway, I'm an introvert, so I'll not go and knock doors. But I think if
Okay.
Sumit can help me open such doors and talk to people, put me in front of people, and if he's also aligning with what I'm thinking, so I think we can work.
Not well, the work that we do, right, is not in terms of working on the business or helping you network, but it's more on working on yourself and the team, right? That's the sweet spot that we operate in, right? Not working on the business, but working on yourself and the team, right? I was suggesting this in that regard. But
Mhm.
given what you have shared, I think you should have a conversation with him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, before I set it up, right, I have two requests. I just want to ensure. One is your time is very limited. Sumit's time is very limited. So if I do set up a call, I would like to ensure that you prioritize this call. And then what I mean by that is, typically with clients for an hour's work like this, Sumit charges about, anywhere between 1,500 euros, right? So when you do come into that call, I would like you to, have the same seriousness of having cut a check for 1,500. That's how you would kind of derive the most, right? Ask your questions. That's how you'll get most of this, right? That was my first request. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
My second request is, just to ensure that you hit the ground running on that call, I will share two questions with you when I introduce you to Sumit, and I would like you to reflect 15 minutes on that and answer that before you get into a call with Sumit, whenever that is. Right? Is that all right again?
Yeah, absolutely. Shoot
I'll
those
quickly
questions.
check when he's available to see if I can match something, right? Just give me a second. He's next available on the 16th, that is the next Monday, or he's available on the 9th, that is this coming Monday at 2:30. Would either of this work?
No, next week I'm not there. I'm traveling. So maybe a
Okay.
week later that said the other
16th?
one, right? Yeah,
16th?
16 should do. Yeah.
Yeah. So 16th,
16.
16th is we have something called Introduction to Choosing Leadership. That's between 1:30 and 3 p.m. in India time, right? So it will be a conversation with Sumit. There will be three other leaders along with you who will be having similar conversation with Sumit, right? But that would be great. I think it's 1:30 to 3 p.m. India time. Does that work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sumit is based out of Amsterdam, so I was just clarifying on the India Standard Time. So what I'll do is two things. One is for the 16th, I'll share an invite for you. Second is I'll introduce you to Sumit over WhatsApp, and I'll share the questions also there itself. Right, and we'll take it from there. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
So great. Thank you, Prasanna. Have a good day, and I look forward to you talking to Sumit. Yeah.
Sure, Vasu. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Have a good.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.